Vision. Yeah. Telangana Higher Education Vision.
Thank you, Chairman Mutyam Reddy. As I told in the beginning, I am not a expert on education, but I was a teacher of economics at Osmania University. I used to get pained when I saw students not coming to the classes. And one of our former vice chancellors said that we are in a classless society. It means classes are not taking place. That's the thing. So it was paining me. But when a principal arranged classes for coaching classes for a competitive exam, in arts college, room number 57 was full, and students were sitting outside and listening to them. You see, that classes were held at what time? In the evening 3:30, and students were sitting. Our classes in the morning 9:30, 9 o'clock, students don't turn up. It used to pain me a lot. I used to remember my days when I was a student, when Professor Mathur Iyengar used to take class, even on Sundays. We used to go to the class on Sundays. At home also they used to treat, why Sunday class? No, if we miss, we used to have a feeling that we are missing something. So we used to go and attend those classes. But now for the student, the regular course has become very secondary. Their primary thing is competitive exam and things. So we understand their problem. There are days of unemployment. But as a solution, what I suggest is, yes, we should have courses which are slightly reorient our courses towards job, one thing. And along with that, some additional classes in the afternoon must be there. It's compulsory that some competitive exam coaching must be there. That's my point of view. There can be discussed that how can we combine this formal education with education which is needed for securing a job. What combination? That's the issue to be taken. Then about, there was a discussion about MSET coaching. I was also wondering when demand is less than the supply, why should we have this thing? But that is the problem here is people from different streams come to the professional course. Some people from CBSE syllabus, some from state syllabus and other things. Either we have to build up some equivalency scale, and if we build up some equivalency, okay, the course here, this marks equivalent to that marks in the CBSE something. Either you have to evolve that, or you have to have MSET. MSET basically is meant to allocate the colleges. A college it's not that who should be rejected. There is no question of rejecting. All will be accommodated. Who will get where the accommodation? Which college? So MSET will be there, but we need to be there unless when people from different streams are coming. With these are some of my few issues I thought one can concentrate. I thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
I am flexible. I appreciate the TRC for taking up this. I was only looking two things, as rightly said by Ramesh Reddy Garu. When we talk about present status, our view must be for the future. We have to look to it's a new state formed, our own state we have got. The present status, I will not take much time, but I agree with many of the speakers, but I would only put in words that present status is very poor. The reason is, retaining a student in the class is a challenge. Then retaining our students, our teachers, perhaps ourselves, or we ourselves are in doubt whether we believe in the course which we are teaching or not is itself a problem. You find students in MA Philosophy or MA English, MA Sociology, MA different. Most of the students, they don't even know who is the teacher. And they do not attend to the classes, they do not want to attend to the internal assessment, they want straight away the degree. In examination also, if they are very intelligent, they can write without copying, but that is also is a big problem. So in the light of this, why this has taken place? I am looking from why part, because all of us know the present status. But the why part I try to do, because I am Director of Placement Services. Based upon the placement activity, if you look into it, we started with 38 industry groups, and second year there were 54 industry groups who have come to us. Today there are 75 industry groups who makes telephone to the Osmania University almost every alternative day for jobs for the, I am concentrating on non-engineering only, because engineering college is a autonomous college and they have their own system and 100% placement, they are comfortable. Therefore, I am not looking to the engineering, I am looking to the non-engineering. You will be surprised to know that I get calls from, I want MA Economics people, I want MA Political Science students, I want MA Social Work students, MCOM, lot of demand is there. Science, genetics, life sciences, many questions are coming from corporate sector. We are fortunate, unlike Kakatiya University and other universities, we are located in the heart of the city. Therefore, we are getting plenty of opportunities for the in the corporate field. Jobs are plenty. I am not able to recommend a single candidate from my university for the simple reason that they don't come forward. I am not making a comment that they are unemployable. I am making a comment that there is no response from the students. Why there is no response, I have probed into it. They say that two reasons I find they are not coming forward. Number one, they feel insecure in the government, in the corporate sector. This insecurity feeling also has not been there for a long time, because I know very well 2000 to 2006, 6 years, there was no insecurity feeling. Many people were going towards the software sector. And thanks to the US financial crisis, after that, suddenly the corporate sector has failed to retain the students, especially the software, even other services sector, retail sector, and many places, number one. Second, biological disturbance, night shifts, girls are to work in the nights, etc. That also made the parents not to allow the girl, why don't you write banking recruitment, why don't you write some government job. Parents themselves are encouraging. These are the two things. And another point I can say, with the speciality with the Telangana and our earlier Andhra Pradesh also, is the herd instinct that we have. If you look newspapers, they will say out of so many IAS posts, 300 have come to the Osmania University. Or so many group jobs, 300 jobs have come to the Osmania University. Or that news delights us, no doubt. But that 300 jobs, out of how many aspirants? There are thousands, 40,000, 60,000 aspirants, 300 have come forward. That 300 who got selected in the groups and government jobs are comfortable. But those who are not selected, from 40,000, remaining people na gharka na ghatka. They are not even bothering about, they are not even attending. Because I am, as a placement director, we are doing 3 levels of capacity building. Sir, I am focusing on capacity building as well as placements. Not only placements. Capacity building we are doing at 3 stages. The first stage is the moment the boy enters with a entrance examination. The moment he comes in the first semester, he will go for English communication skills. For 25 days, 2 hours a day, 50-hour program we are conducting. Then in the second semester, we are focusing on resume writing, negotiating skills, recruitment skills, etc., soft skills and behavioral skills, etc. We are concentrating on that. UGC is giving fund and we are doing that. And that is the second level we are doing. Third is tailored programs for genetic students or for the commerce students. Specifically, Capital IQ recruits every year 1,000 students. So 1,000 students from all affiliated colleges also. Last time 1,500 students have registered. Out of them only 700 wrote the exam. Out of them 75 got selected. Out of them, 45 are from the university. Out of 45, 27 are from the campus. So we have been recruiting. In fact, that is the reason students are cream. Those who joined in the Capital IQ also, they will be there only for 4 years. After that, they will write NET exam and again they will come back to the university. They are good students, they are coming forward. So, a cream of commerce students also are coming back from corporate sector. That's what I wanted to say. The herd instinct, which I've used the word herd instinct here, because there is a trend. IT sector, suddenly IT sector. Suddenly 1 year you say computer engineering, only computer engineering, nobody joins in mechanical. Suddenly they go for that kind of shift. Not only in the students, even in the engineering colleges also, they will close some sections. BCom, the BA they will close, or this close, suddenly they will increase. This herd instinct has to undergo change. This is about the present status. Coming to the vision part, I would like to say, this is a new state. We have to give direction. If the top intellectuals, as many of you have said, top students who topped the entrance examination in the entire Telangana with the 6 students, if these students are going to be the takers of the society, not the makers of the society, what will be the future of this state? So we need to orient the philosophy itself. We need to focus on the state government, that we need to look to the universities. They have to give importance, as much importance they are giving it to the irrigation and the electricity. Electricity and water. These two are definitely caught the attention of the Chief Minister and is trying to do something good. In the same manner, he has to focus on human resources. I feel, I may be subject to the correction, the attention is not much on the creation of human resources for this country, for this state, new state, as much attention as it is given now to the irrigation and what you call electricity. So you need to focus that there should be a vision plan, and that vision plan is, you have 6 universities, newly started universities. In fact, in commerce we have done that in the common core syllabus which is going to come now. We are going to have specializations. Each university can choose the specialization of their suitability, like accounting, marketing, logistics management, computers, e-commerce, like that. In the same manner, we need to look in the higher education system, we need to look how many schools we need to have in coming 10 years, what kind of schools we have to go for it, and what kind of direction we must give for the jobs, corporate sector. He is doing wonderful work as far as attracting the private sector is concerned. When you are inviting somebody from other country to start here to start the employment, we must look whether that skills we are going to develop or not. So for that skill development, he has to plan. He, in the sense, we have to give a plan wherein we should be able to focus our attention, planned manner, we have to go for it. I totally agree with Sri Sudhakar Garu that inbreeding is quite is a challenge, which is a long run it will affect, because when I went to one small university, I don't want to name it, they were wanted me to recruit. I was one of the members for the experts. They were saying that he belongs to the district of Northern Telangana, so you don't select him. We want only the university here. So such kind of thinking, if we have it within the Telangana also. So the point is, where are we leading? So this is a point. And last I would like to say is that Professor was mentioning that linking the